Hello, my friends. Hello, and welcome to this Less Fox Friday on a Friday. Can you believe it? I'm a little astonished myself. So, welcome to September. Welcome to the last third of the year. Welcome to eclipse season. Welcome to a little more structure, maybe, if you have people at school. I have someone at school, which is in some ways helpful and in some ways a little more of a challenge because there are parameters and there are time frames and there are drop-off times and pickup times, and it provides a little more structure to my day, which I find is helpful. And also, right now, while we are transitioning back to the rhythm of the school year, it also it also creates another layer of cognitive load. The schedule has shifted. There are more logistics. So as we are adapting to this old again, new again schedule, I am finding that for now, the structure is mostly helpful. I can't wait to hear what the Rebel deck has to say about this. Before I draw a card, if you are local to Central Massachusetts and you like this kind of thing, if you like hearing what the cards have to offer and it gives you something to ponder, if you're curious about maybe the mystical or the spiritual connections we have with those who have already left us, you may really enjoy an event that I'm co-hosting with my friend Angela on Saturday, September 20th. It's a couple weekends away. It is called Cards and Connections, and you can find the details in my bio link. I don't know why I'm pointing. I'm not going to put anything up in the corners here. You can find the details in my bio link. There's a button that says Cards and Connections, and you can register there. We ask that you do register before you come so we know how many people to expect. It's going to be a beautiful evening that includes a group oracle reading, followed by Angela's gift is mediumship, and she is going to invite in as many of our beloveds as care to come in. So if that sounds like your jam, I keep pointing, go to the Cards and Connections button in my bio link and sign up. We would love to have you join us. And that being said, I am going to see what the Rebel deck has to show us today, whether it's about structure or about eclipse season, or about opening yourself up to possibilities, fresh opportunities, curiosity. I think it's right side up. It is right side up. I can see out of the corner of my eye. I haven't looked yet. So let's see what oh, no, it is actually upside down. Now I see the little unicorn face at the top. So this really wants our attention. And it is, ask a foxing expert. Don't rely on your friends or the internet. Listen to a damn professional. So, if there is something in your life that has just flummoxed you, if you are hearing a noise coming out of your car, if there's a spot on your ceiling that doesn't look right and seems to be growing, if you have tried everything you know and you still keep bumping up against the very same results, it might be time to ask a foxing expert. The question is, for me, the question that pops up for me is, okay, I need to ask a damn professional. Where do I find a damn professional that I trust? And this is where We rely on our soft skills of relationality. We rely on our intuition to let us know whether something feels like we'd like to continue a conversation or whether we would like to look elsewhere. I would also say that nobody knows you the way you know yourself, that you are the expert on you. In the same breath, not really the same breath, but in the same vein, I will also say that each of us, as the expert on us, also has blind spots. We all have blind spots because we are all #human beings. We all have blind spots because our monkey minds, our ego brains, will block things from us. Not because we're too fragile to see them, not because, we know better than everybody else, simply because that is how the mind works. Each of us has blind spots about ourselves, about people we love, about actions we take, about experiences that we enjoy, because we're human beings. Sometimes it can be helpful to ask a foxing expert for assistance and support in recognizing those blind spots. I'm talking here like, that spot on my skin still hasn't gone away and it seems like it's changing. I wonder if I should get that checked out. It might not hurt. I keep running up against the same patterns. No matter what I do, no matter how I express myself, no matter what actions I take, these same people keep acting the same way. Is it me? Am I the a-hole? Maybe. I have a former client who recently said to me, one of the things I find fascinating about this level of seeing myself more clearly is that I see the same characters showing up. They're just wearing different costumes and different faces. She's recognizing patterns that she is also replicating. She's not just pointing the finger and saying, you have a pattern and you have a pattern and you have a pattern. She is saying, where do I continue this pattern? Where am I taking part in this as well? Because in relation, it's never just about the other person. It always has to do with, where are my patterns being activated? Where am I being triggered? What is coming up for me around this? How much of this is mine? Right? That is a place to ask a foxing expert, whether you reach out to a coach, whether you reach out to a therapist, whether you reach out to, in this case, I wouldn't say reach out to a friend, because friends see us in certain ways. I feel like I've touched on this a couple of times in here, but I'll say it again anyway because it's coming up. Friends see us in the ways that they first met us. Friends see us in the ways that serve them. We all do it because we are human beings and we remember the things about people that help support our own stories. Not only our friends, also people that we believe are not for us. Why is this person not for me? Well, I don't like the way she breathes. That's a judgment. That's not necessarily anything that that person can change. It's up to us whether we decide to pass over that judgment and get to know the real person, or say, I can't stand that. There's no way that I could get to know the real person. That's why I wouldn't say to ask a friend in regard to supporting us and recognizing our own patterns and where we are complicit, because friends often either won't see them right along with us, or they will censor themselves because they value the friendship, even if they're censoring themselves unknowingly. Again, #human being, we all do it. So ask a foxing expert. Nobody knows everything. None of us know everything. And even as well as we know ourselves, we don't see everything. We can't. Even as well as we know how to prepare a delicious meal, there may be a technique, a recipe, a tool, something there is that we don't know. There may be a way that we can serve ourselves, feed ourselves better in ways that are more sustainable, in ways that are more healthy. There are. If like I said at the start, if you've been hearing something or noticing something, seeing something that concerns you when you see it or hear it, but then is kind of gone, tell yourself, the next time I notice that, I'm going to take this action. I'm going to call the mechanic. I'm going to ask my neighbor if they know a handyman. I'm going to reach out to a local contractor and see if they can help me address this issue. We can't all know everything. Sometimes we have to ask a foxing expert. That does not mean that we are deficient in any way. It means that we are smart enough to ask for help, to ask for support. And in all the times that I've done that, that first step has made the difference. Speaking from recent personal experience, I have a hole in my ceiling where a giant stain used to be. What I thought was a catastrophic leak that was going to require replacing an entire shower turned out to be an unglued connection. So while I do still have a hole cut in my ceiling, there is no drip, there is no crumbling ceiling or infrastructure, there is no rotting shower floor that has to be replaced. It is a simple fix that now we just have to wait for the drying to happen. The seam, the pipe will be cut out where it needs to be cut out. The seams will be glued where they need to be glued. The ceiling will be replaced. And I don't have to know how to do any of that because I asked a foxing expert. And I'm so thankful that I asked a foxing expert because the story I was telling myself was way worse. And knowing, believing that story was building up all kinds of other stories in my mind. It's going to cost $1,000 to fix. The shower's going to be out of commission. It's a working shower for the three of us. We're going to be taking sink baths. We're going to, all the things, none of which are true. I asked a foxing expert, and I had to wait in order to get the foxing expert. And the foxing expert did the foxing expert's job. And now we know what the foxing problem is. So if there is something that continues to show up for you, if there is something that continues to be on your mind, do yourself the favor of asking a foxing expert. Not only will you learn more about what's really going on and you can dismiss the stories that you've been telling yourself, you will lighten your cognitive load because it will no longer be on your plate. And lightening the cognitive load is always a bonus. It creates space in here, in this cluttered inner space. Lightening the load gives us room to breathe and say, okay, whew, what's really the most important? How do I want to show up? Who do I want to be? We clear the clutter. We give less fox, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, we give less, Fox, by creating space that allows us to make room for what's most important. So, if you have found this beneficial, please share it, like it, subscribe. I know you hear this from everybody, and it really does help. If you're interested in the event that I mentioned, Cards and Connections with me and my friend Angela on Saturday, September 20th, please go to the button in my bio link and register so we can welcome you at the door for an evening that is sure to be a magical 1-2 punch. Until we see each other again, however that shows itself, take the very best care. I'll see you soon.